have not spoke. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So this is the material type. Okay. So material type, now what we discussed. Material type will be depending on number, assignments, number range, procurement type, screen setup, price control, account determination, these things. And how do we define the material type? That is through the configuration here or through the this OMS2 is the transaction. Okay. Again, this is coming under logistics general, material master, under the basic settings and the material type. So here when you go to the material type, go and see, do this, select this one. There is a quantity and value update. This is what I told you, right? We create one for the external operation. No? We select this and do it. So for example, we select this and double click on the FERT. So in FERT, we have so many details here for the particular material. See here, if I select FERT, only those views I can select. By doing the settings, now I can control which are all the views I can select. Okay. Also, I can define, for example, ROH. I can buy only outside. That also I can decide. Okay. That is why when you create maybe ROH, no, you will not be able to enter the procurement type. That will be gray. It will be show only F. Because normally ROH means what? It is raw material you have to buy from outside. Right? But in case if you have to procure inside, that is what you have to go and change here. Similarly, finished goods. Normally, finished goods you have to produce inside. So many companies, what they do for FERT, they will put as a in-house production only. You will not be able to put the purchase. But it does not mean that it is always the finished goods they have to produce inside. Sometimes they may buy purchase also. So that is how they will be having this kind of settings to allow the external procurement or not. And then price control. So again, that in the accounting view, we have the standard price or moving average price. Which price we have to follow? These kind of settings are defined in this material type. Right? So these things, what I suggest you, please explore them. Don't change anything, but explore them. Go and see what are all the possible values there in the material types. Right? And then earlier that the material type, double clicked on the FERT, we went to these details. Now I select this FERT, double click on the quantity value. So here it is telling in these various valuation classes, FERT, whether the quantity update, value update, both are there or not. So this is where I will create one material type, new material type, like Z external. I will put only quantity update. I will not put value update there. That is how configuration of material type will happen. All these material types are configured by MM consultants. Okay, these things are done by the MM consultants. So if a segment has to improve, that is what now I want you to go into deep. I told you, these are some areas you have to try to go into deep. Maybe if Kani, do you have any material on MM configuration book?
Sir?
You have any book on MM configuration?
I might have a book, sir. If not, I will ask my friends for books,
So
sir.
maybe share with the segment so that you can go through them.
Thank
Okay,
you,
sir. I will
much.
ask with my friends and I'll share with them, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Because you have to focus on one area. See, that itself is having so many things here. Then material type field settings. This is what we discussed, right? That if it is, for example, trading items, raw materials, procurement F is fixed. During the change mode, system will not allow. For example, these are the options for the external operations. When you go and see the inside, these are the options. See, what are the options there? For example, in internal purchase is production, no internal purchase orders allowed, which means in-house production is not allowed. Internal purchase orders allowed, but warning issue. For example, you can put it, but system will give warning message. If you put 2 means, system will allow it. That is how we configure here. Once we configure here, when you are entering the details there, system will not allow you. That is why when you are entering some details in SAP, right, sometimes you get warning message. Sometimes you get error message. These things are coming from these kind of settings. Right? So here, change internal order number from 0 to 1, save the configuration of HAWA. Because HAWA...
Sir, here we have any information like Before we had a warning message, it would be yellow like this. We don't have here, sir. Then how it will display the warning message or error message, sir?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Actually, I don't know whether it's possible in ECC. In APO, we have an for displaying information message, warning message, or anything. We will have a specific place where we define like alerts. But here doesn't have anything like information or warning message. How it will generate the warning message, sir?
See here, okay, like that it may not come. There are some message determinations are there for specific transactions that we'll see later. But now for this metal master, for example, if 0 is there, right, no internal purchase allowed. This means system will always know have any change allowed there. It will be gray. But if you put internal purchase allowed, but warning message means if you are putting that E, system will give the yellow message. This is a material type. It is not allowed.
Okay, sir, got it, sir. It's from the value what we are selecting.
Correct.
Okay, sir.
Right. So here, for example, say when the material type HAWA as a default, no, the system was having 0 value. This value was 0. So it was gray. No internal was required. So which means only F was allowed. But once we changed this to 1, then what will happen? It was changing. It was having the editable field. Before that, it was gray field procurement type. Once I change it, it has become editable field. Okay. Right. But again, material type, when you are defining it, you have to be very careful for the materials. Because changing the material type is not an easy job. Okay. It has to follow many rules. For example, when you are having the material, for example, for a material only you are going to change the material type. So the material type, right, that itself, no, before that, if it is not configurable, here also should not be configurable. Earlier it was having inspection plan, here also should not be inspection plan. Here it has stock value updated, here also stock. Like this, no, some rules have to match. Apart from this, if you have any stock, reservation, purchase orders, production orders, you cannot change the material type. So defining material type in the initial stage is very, very important. Then field selection.
Sir, what was the transaction you said for changing the material type, sir? MMA something, right?
MM.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
Now field selection. So every transaction has some field or some screens where we can enter the data as per the business requirements. This is done through the field selection configuration. For example, when I enter the metal master, right, in-house production time, I want to show the in-house production time only for FERT and HALB. I don't want to show that in-house production time for ROH and HAWA because these things for sure I'm not able to produce. So I want to hide those fields, right? Like that, if I want to hide some field or show some fields, these things are done through this configuration. And these things are controlled by material type, like as I told, no, HALB or FERT, a transaction like during metal master creation or change or display, or industry section, procurement type and plant. Based on this, we can change. So this one is done through this configuration. SPRO, Logistic General, Metal Master. This is the Metal Master field settings. The field selection, maintain field selection. I go there. Then I will go and check what are all the fields I want to display or change. Okay. For example, this is what? This is a field selection group which is having basic unit of measure. This basic unit of measure should be optional entry if I'm using this field reference. For example, there is no, wait. For example, this is a field group 52, which is having purchasing group and automatic purchase order load. These are the fields which are under this one. Now, during various lists, okay, leave it. Now, during MM01, right, these items, purchasing group, during MM01, MM02, I want this to be optional entry. Okay. Now, during MM03, it is a display.
Correct.
But I want to enter this purchasing group as a mandatory, means I will come into the system and put it as a required entry. Okay. I will come to this transaction, make this as required entry. If I put it as required entry, when I'm creating metal master, system will ask me to fill all these details mandatorily. Without putting this, system will not allow me to save the metal master. This is where the mandatory field is coming from.
Sir, sometimes we have a user specific field, right, sir? That we cannot configure. Is only with the user exit we can add it, right, sir? Not with this.
Yes. That is different. Leave it.
Okay,
leave it.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is the standard settings where I have this purchasing group or automatic purchase indicator, source list. These things are coming under this particular group of parameters. In this group of parameters, during MM01, as of now, they are showing as optional. But
Sir, sorry, sir. One more question, sir. Actually, I have developed my field with the user exit, but I want to say in MM like this, MM01, MM02, it should be an optional entry, and MM03, it's in a display. I can add that field in this, or it's a
please
totally
explore
different
this.
concept.
Please explore this through this transaction. Okay, what is it?
Okay, sir.
Explore this one. Field selection in the data screens. No, there the field group. There is another transaction to create the field group. That field group probably you can go and add these things.
Okay, sir.
And
if
the
I
field
add
group,
this, it will display over there.
correct.
Okay, sir.
So for you, Sigmund, you don't need to think about those things what Kani is asking. What you need to understand is going into this purchasing group, whether it is mandatory or not, it is coming from field selection. That's it.
Field selection. So one question, sir. So in this fields selection group 52, you have to add all the field names, correct, sir?
Standard SAP is having everything here.
Okay.
This 52, it came from standard SAP.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Next is the metal group configuration. Metal group we discussed for external operation, right? We discussed. So here, again, this is the logic where we go and define the metal group. It's a very simple configuration. Unit of measure. Unit of measure also we can go on to define this one through this menu path. Okay. 2 menu paths are there. Anything you can select. You can go and define the unit of measurements. And you can create a new unit of measurement also. But whatever defined in SAP itself, that is more than sufficient. Then material number range. So material number range, it may be internally assigned by system or we can give it externally also. And metals are having alphanumeric. Metals are having the alphanumeric. That we can have alphabetical and numeric numbers. Okay. So to do this, this is again menu path. Define the number range for material type wise. Define the number range for material type wise. You can assign them. Okay. So if we define this pure number, right? If we define them as a pure number, then it is a only number. For example, if you define like this A to ZZZ, it will be like a alphanumeric you can use. These are number range numbers. Whether you want to have external number range, this is what normally alphanumeric will be given as external. External means we can give the number like what we did now. SGMC, -TRNG, like that we put no. That is what number we gave it. But if we define to the system, this is the logic I want to follow. For example, number range 1. This is the logic I want to follow. Number range 2, I want to follow. Then I can assign this each number range to specific material type. Like all my finished goods, all my semi-finished goods, like that. So once I create it, system will create with these numbers. It will be like a running serial numbers. Okay. Right. That is a number range.
Sir, one question, sir. Normally, when we create a material, we will give the material number. It will not generate automatically.
No. That's what. There are two things there that we discussed in the initial stage itself, material number discussion itself, metal master discussion. There are some materials or some number ranges we can create. We can assign them externally. There are some settings we can do it internally. If a material type is assigned internally, you will not be able to enter the material number. System will assign the number accordingly. For example, if a number range 01 is assigned to one material type, see, it is assigning the number from 1 to 459999. There are 18 digits here. Okay. These 18 digits, whatever pre-digits are filled with 0. Right. So it is running is number, what they given this number ranges from 1 to 45 million. 45 million then given here. But now the number range what is used is 1578. From 1 to 1578 is used. When I may create a next material, system will create number 1579. You will not be able to give the number, as if you are not clicking this external. But if you give this external, then you will be able to assign the number by yourself. So both the ways you can do for material. Number you can give or system can give. Both the things are possible.
How this scenario will be decided, sir, in the business case?
Okay. Now, if you take like, for example, finished goods. Finished goods, maybe we can create some logic for those items. But if you take some like spare items or components, those things, I don't want to spend time on those things because every day some new metals are getting created. I want the system to create these things. For example, I will create one material type for those kind of consumables. Like, no, it may be a standard material type, or I will configure the material type copying from the standard material type. So that material type, I will assign some number like this, 92 to 9999, I will give it. So whatever the material which is created with that material type, it will start with this 92 and it will go up to this number. That is the meaning. So I will decide it based on the requirement.
Okay, sir. Normally we need to propose the solution to the business and they will decide, right, sir?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And again, what is the point which I will suggest is that they can go with the external number range, but they should be controlled with the proper data management group. That should be a group to control this. So even this numerical number also can be given external. Because instead of A, B, Z, they can have some numbers to have some logic. For example, 1 means raw material, 2 means SFG, 3 means this one. Like this, there may be some logic. So after that, special procurement type. This is what now we discuss special procurement type. The special procurement type may be, for example, this is 30, subcontracting. So when I define this, when I go inside, system will show that plant. And then here, special procurement 30, procurement type F, special procurement L, I have to select. Then save it. That's it. This is subcontracting. So this will trigger all the related functions for the subcontracting. Similarly, if I select 40 is not here. But instead of that, 41, 42, 45 are there. See here, 41 is the copy of 40, but it is copying from, sending the metal from DE01, Germany. This is taking from metal from 1712. Like this, they have some settings here in this screen. Okay. But in our system, I'm not sure what are the things there. Okay. Right. So this is the configuration with respect to metal master in this one. Next, we'll go to business partner. I'll just, before that, I will show you some of the PP related, then we'll come back here because the time is running. PP, okay. See here again, calendar, public holiday, those things we discussed earlier itself. BOM usage, BOM status, item categories, routing, number range and control key, work center category, task list, person responsible, those kind of things. Demand management, what kind of requirement type, requirement class, those things. Then shop floor control. We are using production order. Production order, they have dependent type, dependent parameters, number range for orders, then production scheduler. These things are coming under work scheduling view.
Sir, one question, sir. Calendar we see in MM and PP. So we need to maintain at both place the calendar, or one place if we maintain it will reflect in PP also.
It is only 1 year.
In MM also we have seen, right, sir, calendar.
Correct. This for the course material I prepared. I prepared one for PP, one for MM, but we are showing here now this one.
Okay, sir.
But the transaction which I'm telling is what? Same thing, SEL, no? See, go see the menu path. It is the same NetWeaver, it is same general setting, same thing.
Sir, I understand that, sir. No, sir, I know that, sir. It's SCAL is a transaction for calendar, but I ask for each we have seen in MM and PP, so I'm asking if we have to generate at both place or only one is enough. Now I understand, sir.
Sigmund, I will curse Kani and come back. Kani, இந்த கேலண்டர்லாம் வந்து டிஃபைன் பண்றது ஜெனரல் செட்டிங்ஸ்னு போட்டு இதுல வந்திருக்கு. இங்க வர்றது வந்துட்டு எப்படி 2 இடத்துல வரும் அது சொல்லுங்க. நீங்க எல்லாம் இவ்வளவு நாள் சிஸ்டம்ல இருந்து நான் கேட்டேனான்றது எனக்கு டவுட்டா இருக்குங்க. எனக்கு மட்டும் திட்டுன்றீங்க. எம்எம்ல பிரசன்டேஷன்ல பார்த்தோம் அதை. பட் செட்டிங்ஸ் வரும்போது செட்டிங்ஸ்ல போய் பார்க்கணும் நீங்க அதை. அதை விட்டுட்டு சும்மா எங்களுக்கு இதுவா அதுவா இதுவாதான் காட்டுனா வாட் இஸ் திஸ்?
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே. Calendars, okay, right. Then MRP type. Remember MRP type, where do you use? Where do you use MRP type?
Sir, in MRP one view, sir. MRP
one view, okay. So what are the MRP types we used? See that. M0, M1, M2, M3, all these things are defined in this configuration here. These are coming from this configuration. Okay, for example, I selected PD. PD means it is a consumption planning, MRP procedure D. And here, what are the things here? Safety stock is no automatic calculation of safety stock applicable or not. There is a tick mark, but it's not required. But yesterday we discussed no the V1, VM, right? When I use
yes,
VM, when I use VM, sorry, when I use the VM, no automatic reorder point, the tick mark will be there for both. Maybe I will show it to you. Okay, that is one thing which maybe you can see now. What is that MRP type? No? MRP master data checking. Okay, so now see here, this is the manual reorder point with external requirement. This is automatic reorder point planning. This is the VB is the reorder point planning. Okay, now let me go and see the details there. See here, manual reorder point with external requirement. Okay, here it is B reorder point planning, but here it is see external requirements within replenishment lead time is taken. External requirement within replenishment lead time is taken. What is the replenishment lead time for purchase item? It is the lead time. No,
10 days.
10 days, yeah. It is the purchase delivery lead time. It is not 10 days is the example I gave.
Okay, sir. It's planned delivery time on purchase info record.
Purchase info record or metal master.
Metal master.
Okay, because here the trigger is happening from the metal master, it will take from metal master. For in-house production time, if you use the same thing, it will take the replenishment lead time what you fill in the MRP3 view. Okay. So now external requirement means that what is that this one? So for example, here if I put what is the external requirement? It is ignored. External requirement total urgent means total all the requirements are within replenishment lead time. But normally what you have to take? You have to take the external, and here the safety stock and reorder point calculations are not triggered. Now I see the next setting, automatic reorder point planning, right? V2 external requirement considered, but here the safety stock and reorder point is calculated. And here if we see the VB, this external requirement ignored, safety stock reorder point also ignored. Here B reorder point planning. This is what no that reorder point planning. Okay, all these things are reorder point planning, right? And here we have many things: demand driven replenishment, MRP. That is what is differentiating other things. So this each one no you have to go through. Any small settings also will change the complete behavior of the system. Okay, right. MRP type. Okay. And then MRP controller. We have this no S01, S02, S03. These things are defined here. Define MRP controller. So we define this S01 finish good like that.
Sir, one question, sir.
Hmm.
Since calendar comes under both module, actually we don't have access to create a master data in ACC. We are not supposed to touch, sir. To whom I have to ask for the calendar? It's MM team or PP team?
Normally it will be coming under the who is doing the more operation. For example, it is a manufacturing unit. Then it will be from PP.
Okay, sir.
If it is just some like kind of a distribution unit or something like that, then you would go for MM.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now here we have this one MRP controller. Next is the lot size. What are the lot size procedure we used?
EX, some
lot to lot.
lot for lot, fixed lot size.
Correct. Lot to lot, fixed lot size, those kind of things, right? So when I have to do it, no, this is the procedure which is defined here. Menu path of the check lot size procedure. Here I go. What is the lot size? So here is all these things are defined. EX means what? FX means what? No, these things are defined. For example, EX means lot for lot, which means statistic lot procedure. Lot size is lot for lot. Okay. And then if it is a monthly lot size, see here, it is telling lot size procedure is period lot size procedure. The difference here, no, it is a static lot size, but it is a period lot size. And lot size indicator is lot for lot. Here it is a monthly. And here scheduling is a period start, means on the period when it is starting, that time it should be available. Okay. Like this, each and everything, no, you have to check. Then here the same special procurement. This is not, you don't need to do in MMPP separately, same thing. Then schedule margin key. So you use the schedule margin key, no? The opening period, float before production, all those things. No? This is what it is coming under scheduling and capacity. Define the floats where we define these things. For example, in 1710, these are all the schedule margin keys defined. For example, 00, 001, like this it is defined, and 00, 001, and 002. And here this opening period, float before production, after production. So when you save these things, right? When you create the metal master, what is on the purchasing group? When you go and select it, segment was appearing. Similarly, whatever the schedule margin key we decide here, those things will appear there. You will select it. Then MRP group parameters. So there are some options now where you can create some MRP groups. So these parameters will be grouped and these things will be assigned there. Okay. Now let us create an MRP group called 001, where we can assign various points here, like a strategy group, consumption adjustment, then rescheduling origin. There are many parameters are there, planning horizon, planning time fence. These things will take time, but what I suggest you please go through them. For example, order type. If you want to select the order type, I can define them. Similarly, I can define these parameters at plant level also. At plant level, what are the parameters? Similar things I can create. Then this is the scope of check. Availability check, right? This one is a very important, that during the availability check, right? Production order creation, during that stage, the shortage list or missing parts we have to create, right? So that time we told the checking rule and checking group combination decided. For example, there is a sales order, there is a delivery, there is a production order creation. This is the checking rule. We have to define the checking rule.
So this comes under GATP, right, sir?
This comes under ATP, not under GATP, under GATP. I don't know GATP. Yes. I am yet to see that, but it is coming under ATP.
Okay, sir.
Available to promise. Okay. Then I come to the checking group. The checking group will say that what are the things I have to cover. For example, this is to be covered, and no availability check or the special availability check. Those things I have to do. Now, combining the checking rule and checking group, I have to define the scope of check. So this is what scope of check. For example, this checking rule P1, that is the during production, the SP, this is what assigned in the metal master MRP3 view. So what are the things I have to check for the availability check? With the safety stock, drop and transfer, then as a receipt, what are the things I have to consider? For issue, what are the things I have to consider? These things are covered in this scope of check. Now, I defined here, no, I can define this rule, no, the SP or SR, only one parameter is used in the metal master. With this parameter, during sales order, how it has to behave. So I will use this here, sales order. During delivery, how it has to give. So I will change the delivery here. Like this, no, different combinations we can create. Okay. Then BOM usage. This is the configuration to create the BOM usage. Where we go to the BOM usages. We saw that the BOM usage, 1 is for production, 2 for engineering. These things are coming from configuration. BOM status. That is active or not active status, right? These are defined here. 1 means active, everything is can be done. 2 means nothing can be done here. 3 means only some limited things. We cannot do it for costing here. This is not relevant to costing. Like this, no, controls can be done in the different status levels. Item category. In BOM, we have item category, no, stock item, document type. Like this, no, there are many things out there. These item categories are defined here. Like C is a required entry, D means no entry. All these things are defined here as a compatibility document item, PM structure. Like this, the details are here. BOM application. This is what, no, the PP01, right? You confuse with the BOM application with the control key, right? But this is a BOM application, PP01, right? Best PP01, right? This is production general inventory management here. So production general means it is used for MRP, planned order, relevant to costing. Many options are there. You can use it for many purposes. And then work centers. Work center category, what we defined is the machine or labor, those kind of things, right? Machine, labor, work center, those kind of things we cater. And then work center standard value parameters. This is what, no, where we define the setup time, processing time, machine time, those things. For example, in the plant, 7,000 means setup, 7,000 means this one, or power, I can define the power, I can define reductions, I can define return, whatever it is. And then work center standard value key. I define the standard value key. In this standard value key, I will define what are the 6 parameters have to come there. Right? I define the parameters here. I define the parameters here. Which are all the 6 parameters have to come in the 6. So when I select the standard value key in work center, these things will come default. That is why in the work center, when I enter the standard value key, this setup time, machine, and labor, these things came automatically. That is coming from this configuration. Then work center shift sequence. For example, some sequence of operations will be there for the shift. For example, it is operating from this date to this date, from which time to which time it is operating. Those things also we can define here. Control key. Control key is what? This is configured here. Control key PP02, for example, if you select it, what are all the things? No, we saw that as a gray. Like, you know, if you select PP02, scheduling is there, print is there, cost is there. That's it. External requirement is there. Like this, for PP01, I will not have external, but I will have other details. PP04, I will have the goods receipt. Like this, I can configure the control keys. And then production order types. So when we create the production order, they are created an order type. Like a purchase order is also having order type. In our case, it is NB. Production order is some YBP. All these things were know how they are coming. So these are all coming from this order type, order dependent parameters, and also scope of chips, other controls are there. Now, order types are defined using this transaction, which is now coming from here. Define order type, production, shop floor control, order types. Or we can also use the transaction OPJ, this transaction what is given here. Here order type is PP01. Here many parameters you have defined, whether it is a costing control, like this. And then dependent parameters. For each plant, for each order type, what are the parameters have to be covered? You know, for planning, what are the things, you know, which production version it has to take, whether it is manual selection or automatic selection. And then how the BOM has to be selected, how the batch has to be determined. Okay. And then scheduling parameters, how the scheduling has to happen. And then scheduling parameters, like, you know, checking control, like during production order creation. Right? This is during production order creation. I want a metal check. See, in our thing, when I create the material, system is giving the shortage list, no missing parts. That is coming from these settings. If I put check metal availability, then it will show the shortage list. If I put no check, system will not show anything. In our system, it will be a tick mark. There is no check will not be there. Only the checkbox will be there. So don't get confused with the slides on this page. It is better you visit there and see our settings. During production order creation, we have this missing parts list. So if you want to see the missing parts list, this check has to be there. Similarly, during production order creation, I want the release also to happen, means that also can be configured here. Where is it? Checking rule component check collective permission. No, I think that I will check it later. Okay. So this is no check. Then similarly during release, what should happen? Check available during release. Again, I have to check all these things. What is the checking rule I have to follow? These things also defined. And then scheduling profile. So the scheduling profile is the one which you will define it using the work scheduling view 001, 002. And then here no, the scheduling view, what are all the things which are happening? Using the this is where we schedule. For example, if I want to have production order when I create, now we are doing two steps. We create, then release. But during the scheduling profile settings, I can also tell during creation, do the release also automatically. That also I can do. So it will be released automatically. So when I release, it means what are the things to happen? So what should happen during creation? What should happen during release? These things can be covered through this production scheduling profile. And then production order type, how to select the production order. These things also covered under the settings in the production order type. So these things, which are all the production order which has to be selected like this. So here out to the production order selected, order type is defined in the scheduling profile, or it is defined in the production schedule profile assigned to the production scheduler, or in the MRP group parameters, or in the plant parameters like this. Right? These are the PP settings. See, these configuration settings, right? I just rush through it because these things you have to take more interest and see. I was focusing more on master data, right? In our course, I was focusing more on master data because that is where the basic concepts have to be built. Once you understand more on this master data, and then you go to the transaction. Okay, then transaction have to be familiar. Then you come to the configuration, right? Don't start with the configuration in the beginning itself. That then you will not understand anything from the system. Okay, right. Okay, now we have this less than 2 minutes. So let me cut and come back, right? Maybe another 2-3 minutes I will come back. So let us complete some remaining parts in the MM and go back. Okay.
Okay, sir.